Welcome to the free-to-play feature. My name is Kevin, and on today's video, I'll be taking a look at the Sydney Tour and perhaps what comes after the Sydney Tour. The topic to start today's video is that of the All-Cup ranking, top 1,000. We had a player in the free-to-play community, Justin C., achieve a top 1,000 mark on the All-Cup ranking. It's a tremendous achievement, so let's all give an applause for Justin. You did an amazing job, and he came up with an ingenious strategy for executing this. He hashed this out a little over a month ago, and what it does is it involves very specific steps in order to achieve this mark, since as a free-to-play player, you're not going to have the inventory that can carry you the way that a Gold Pass player or a pay-to-win player would have. So it requires very specific moves that I will provide to you in detail on just how he achieved this mark. The primary means for executing this strategy is the savings of both rubies and tickets. Now, the tickets are things that you can acquire through either the tour gifts that have been boosted in the last several tours thanks to the generosity of the Mario Kart Tour team, or through your purchases in the Daily Selects or Tier Shop. For most of you in the free-to-play community, the lion's share of your high-end tickets will come from Tier Shop purchases. So what this will require you to do is to expand beyond that of looking to purchase for value in the Tier Shop. The rubies are required because every time that there's a new tour, you're going to have a new set of Spotlight high-ends, right? Now this will only work if they are Spotlight high-ends. If it's a Super Spotlight, the value is going to be significantly lower, and it's going to hamper your ability to implement this strategy. The high-end Spotlight set that comes out each tour generally only has between 3 and 5 tracks of top shelf course value. However, being in the Spotlight affords a Spotlight buff in which middle shelf tracks become top shelf tracks if they're in the proper frame of each individual cup. This amounts to approximately 1/3 of the tracks in a given tour will have the high-end Spotlight items in the top shelf, which means that you can use a reservoir of tickets that you've built up and saved through your purchases and collection to immediately bring those items to level 6 and unlock the full track values that are provided within them. And this provides the lion's share of your contribution to the All-Cup ranking with a fully maxed out, or I should say maxed out to level 6 driver, kart, and glider, and applying point cap tickets to bring them to 1,400 for the driver and 700 for the kart and glider. You can get scores with relative ease greater than 35,000, greater than 40,000, if their exposure is that of 1/3 of the entire tour. That alone is going to be nearly 500,000 points of value that you can add towards your All-Cup ranking. So then you only need to fill it in with relatively modest scores to reach the 900,000 or 1 million plateau in the remaining 2/3 of the tracks. Now, Justin chose to execute this strategy at a point in time when a coin box driver would be in the Spotlight, which in this case was King Bob-omb Gold. He was in the Spotlight for the 50 pipe, the gold pipe, and it worked out relatively well for him since it was only a 50 pipe, which meant that he was able to parse his rubies to drain that pipe once and then jump into the Ninja Pipe 1 with Shy Guy Ninja and get the Spotlight items in that pipe. In total, Justin spent 710 rubies on the 2 pipes, and in those rubies he had received 9 high-ends, which were King Bob-omb Gold, King Boo Gold, Dry Bowser Gold, Shy Guy Ninja, Pink Gold Peach, which was level 4.5 for him, so that leveled it up to level 5, the Jade Hop Rod, Festival Girl Kart, which was the Spotlight Kart in week 2, but it was in the general pool in week 1, the Ninja Scroll, and the Butterfly Sunset. In terms of ticket usage, I'll provide a list of screenshots here of his investments, but I'll go over the big moves that he made and that was taking King Bob-omb Gold from level 1 all the way to level 6 and triple capping it at 1,400. That was significant for scoring. Actually, in Rainbow Road in week 2, he had scored over 50,000 with his setup, which is just astronomical if you think about that in terms of a free-to-play player. But if you save and do the strategy, you too could find a similar result. King Boo Gold, he took from level 1, it was a new driver for him, all the way up to level 4, and he single capped it at 980 base points. Now the Party Wing, which wasn't in a pipe, but it was featured prominently throughout the tour, he invested in that rather than the Jade Hop Rod, since he actually came into the tour with not enough tickets to max out the Jade Hop Rod. Of course, let me take a step back. You need 9 tickets in order to take a high-end from level 1 to level 6, assuming that you only pull it once. So he did not have the 9 high-end cart tickets required to do that. Fortunately for him, the Party Wing was featured prominently, so he took it from level 3, 490, all the way to level 6, 700. He triple capped it. And the Ninja Scroll, he did have enough tickets to bring to level 6 and also 700 base points. The other huge thing that Justin had going for him in this tour is that his previous heavy investment, Gold Koopa Free Running, was featured prominently in this tour due to its inclusion in the Gold Pipe. So his Gold Koopa Free Running is already level 6 and double capped 1,190 base points, which meant that he was scoring routinely over 30,000 points on the tracks that that driver was featured in. And that, in tandem with the investments that he made during this tour, allowed him to score well over 1 million points, which is just, it's tremendous. He actually could have made a run for the top 100 if he had a little bit more resources. Now that we've gone over the specifics of his move, let me elaborate that to form a blueprint for other players that may be considering a similar move, or you had never stopped to think about it before, and now Justin's accomplishment has opened your horizons up to trying this feat for your very self. And that is, first of all, requiring ruby savings, right? You need to have a minimum of 450 rubies, but ideally more than that, so that you can also go in on a special pipe for that tour, since you know that those items will be featured significantly in that tour. The other thing that you need to do is save tickets. At a very minimum, you need 9 high-end driver, cart, and glider tickets to bring 1 of each to level 6, but ideally you want more than that so that you can assess the landscape of the tour. We don't know going into a tour what tracks will be featured. It's somewhat random, and it doesn't always make sense thematically, although they often do. And that can allow you to make additional moves that can further bolster your chances for coming in the top 1,000. And the next thing you want to do is hoard the point cap tickets, because it's not just about leveling up your driver, it's about enhancing their base points. When you take a driver to level 6, 1,400, the amount of bonus points that you're generating is outrageous. You know, I've often spoke about the value of a high-end driver's bonus points. And if you have a level 6 driver just at its 800 base point limit, you're going to receive 40 bonus points per action. But if you take that level 6 all the way to 1,400 base points, you'll receive 70 bonus points per action, which is almost twice as many as the original base cap at 800 points. It's akin to having a second driver in play. That's how strong the value is of the points cap tickets. I believe that you can do this move with more options than just a brand new coin box driver in the spotlight. I believe that you can also accomplish this given the right loadouts in the other tracks with a Lucky 7 driver or a Giant Banana driver, and perhaps even lesser skills, so long as your loadouts in the other tracks are just that much greater to buffer the distance that you might have between yourself and the 1,000th ranked player. As you guys know, I have not been extremely motivated in ranked mode since level 7 has been introduced to the game. I had spoke about this in the Snow Tour free-to-play feature, and if you go back and listen to the things that I was discussing, they were right on point. And that is that level 7 itself hasn't ruined the ranked mode experience for free-to-play players. However, the influx of tickets that's come alongside of the level 7 increase has made it so that the players that you're going against, your opponents in ranked mode, are constantly unloading those tickets on the week that they receive them. And if you're playing a methodical game in which you're saving resources, you're going to find yourself incapable of finishing in first place unless your loadouts are truly blessed with the paywall or the free-to-play friendly tracks that have been provided. However, one thing I want to point out to all you in the audience is that the free-to-play friendly tracks have gradually shifted over time, whereas originally those tracks favored highly exposed super drivers such as Donkey Kong, King Boo, and now we see that tracks such as Rock Rock Mountain and Dino Dino Jungle, Airship Fortress, things of that nature, Luigi's Mansion, have been seldom featured in ranked mode lately in favor of more recent free-to-play friendly tracks such as Rosalina's Ice World R, which had Pit Crew Toad. However, for my account, I only received Pit Crew Toad in December, and he's still at a low level, so I can't get these enormous boombox runs that you see many of the other players achieving, which means that my output on the free-to-play friendly tracks has been reduced compared to that of past ranked mode. So it's a combination of factors that have made the ranked mode more difficult, and I've taken a step back from it because it is enormously stressful, and ultimately we're playing this game for our own enjoyment. So I've had to kind of rediscover what it is that I enjoy about this game, and that is ultimately racing with the characters that I want to play with and succeeding in doing so. So what that means is that when those characters aren't featured in ranked mode, I should be saving my resources up for opportunities that may come about, like Justin introduced, and it got me to thinking that I want to try this strategy myself. However, in my case, it may be a greater difficulty curve since I wouldn't be doing it with just any standard coin box driver in the spotlight. I'd want to do this with a DK character, which ideally would have Giant Banana because the point ceiling would be almost that on par with coin box. However, even if it wasn't Giant Banana, I may still attempt it if the other tracks were good in that particular tour. In conjunction with that is that my account is still relatively new. I still haven't had a full year of account activity. I joined during the Yoshi Tour of 2020. However, I'd stopped playing for nearly 2 months in the summer. So I'm about around the 11-month mark at this point. And that means that my account is missing a lot of value, not just the passive rubies and coins that have been distributed out to accounts that started all the way back in day one. Many of you in the audience are Gold Pass players, and you've shared with me some of you didn't start off with Gold Pass, and apparently there's a significant difference between the account status of players who had Gold Pass from day one as opposed to just started with Gold Pass last summer. And they're playing an endless catch-up game. It's nearly impossible for them to catch up with a day one Gold Pass player. And it's even more so for a free-to-play account. So you can maximize all you want, but at the end of the day, you're only getting, maybe 100 extra coins of value than another free-to-play player. It would take months, if not years, to catch up in terms of the amount of missed value that you've received. From my own account, perhaps the most challenging thing would be just a lack of inventory. There's a number of carts and gliders that I don't possess, and that means I don't even have the landing places to apply tickets to in a given tour. So my thinking was that if this all occurred during a jungle tour, for instance, since I invest into all of those characters heavily, it would greatly favor my chances as opposed to doing this in any other tour, in which case it would be unlikely that I could possibly achieve it. So in lieu of covering my ranked performances, which I've honestly been intentionally tanking, I've been saving tickets anytime that I've come on in the past and said, like, here's an analysis of the moves that I can make in a given ranked mode. Essentially, I haven't done any of them. None of the moves that could be made have been made, and that's certainly allowed my ticket counts to flourish. My tickets are in an even better position than Justin's were when he pulled off this move. So now it's just playing a waiting game in terms of when the right tour will come along for me to execute this strategy. The big news that came out along with the Sydney tour, if you follow the data mines, first of all, if you don't, I will give you a chance now to fast forward the video, go down below, and you can check out the chapters and skip over the spoiler section. However, for those of you that follow the data mines, you will know that the team rally has been discovered, and it is Bowser versus Donkey Kong. My excitement went from like 1 to 10 as soon as I saw this. I'm really excited and happy that this is coming to the game. As you guys know, in the Sydney tour preview, I told you guys that the tour after, which was going to be the Sydney tour, would be a team rally tour to coincide with the expert challenges. And I had said, kind of unenthusiastically, that maybe it would be a Yoshi versus Toad team rally, which would be an interesting concept. However, both of those characters have received new versions recently, so that really wouldn't make sense in terms of a team rally. Beyond happy that it is Bowser and Donkey Kong. In terms of speculating what we might see, we know that Donkey Kong has to receive a new character because he hasn't had an alt. So unless they put the super spotlight of Donkey Kong, the normal version, in, we're going to be seeing a Donkey Kong high-end character, which hopefully would have Giant Banana. I mean, there's a number of skills that it could have. We don't know what the theme of that character will be yet. And for Bowser, it would either be Santa Bowser. However, I honestly don't think that they're going to bring in a holiday exclusive character into a pipe with presumably 9 high-end spotlights in the middle of May. It just, look, I know we all want Santa Bowser to return, but it just doesn't make sense. If anything, I don't even know if we'll see Santa Bowser this December. It could be locked behind a banner like Holidaisy was. So that all remains to be seen. However, I do think the possibility is out there for there to be a new Bowser alt, so that would be 2 new high-end alts in the same tour. We've seen that in the Yoshi tour, we saw that in the previous tour with the Ninja tour, and also with the Cat tour. 2 new characters. I know in the second year of the game it's been a trend to have only 1 new character per tour. However, given the layout of this tour coming up, it will either be just Donkey Kong receiving a new high-end alt, or it will be with Santa Bowser, that is, or it will be one of each, a brand new character. The thing working against me for executing Justin's plan for the top 1000 ACR is that it kind of requires the Spotlight cart and glider to be a brand new item. And the reason for that is you might think that that's a little bit puzzling, because you might say, Kevin, an existing high-end Spotlight pair of a cart and glider has more track coverage, right? They would have 14 tracks, 16 tracks, any number around in that range. So that would be better than having a brand new cart that only has 4 top shelf track values and the Spotlight boost. However, the significant thing is that when that new item comes into the game, they plan the middle shelf value to align with the Spotlight bonus so that it can have that extended exposure, right? Whereas that big top shelf value of existing carts and gliders will often be ignored. It can't fit into the theme of what they have going on. So therefore, actually, it would present even fewer opportunities to use those items than if the item were brand new and didn't have fully realized value yet. So therefore, I am questioning whether or not this move is possible now. I'd been saving up my tickets and adjusting my strategy as necessary for a potential jungle tour, but given that I'm going to be using a significant amount of rubies in the Bowser vs. Donkey Kong tour, and there won't be a brand new Spotlight set in all likelihood, since past team rallies, you can look it up, have had existing carts and gliders come in. It would be tremendous if they provided a brand new Spotlight cart and glider to go along with Donkey Kong. However, I think that's beyond the realm of expectations. Certainly, we have not seen the DK Maximum back in the pipe since it was with Donkey Kong Jr. in the Super Mario Kart Tour. And In terms of glider, it could be the banana wingtip, although that was recently in a special pipe, so there's a number of possibilities. I won't go into all of them in the free-to-play feature. I'll save that for a future speculation tour preview video. But I just figured that I would provide this opportunity to give an update on what I'm doing with my own game moving forward. So what I plan to do with you guys now is I will go through ranked mode, I'll go through the shops, but since I'm not going to be making any of these upgrades myself, I'm not going to talk about what my moves will be because that's irrelevant. I'm going to continue saving, but I will discuss the options that are available to you and what can make sense if you're still trying to maximize for ranked mode. Because look, if you do this move for the all cup ranking, it goes against the grain of the things that I've taught in past free-to-play features in terms of how to maximize your chances of winning in ranked mode, or how to get the most bang for your buck in terms of ticket investments. Alright, let's take a look at the current tour. We see that the first ranked cup is the Toadette Cup, and with that we have Sydney Sprint. And if we take a look at the top shelf, you can see that there's a gold driver. I have gold Shy Guy. Other than that, it's going to be pretty exclusive. Most of you wouldn't have pulled for any of these other characters. And as you see, Baby Mario Koala has the heart, which, look, might be a cute driver for some of you. However, not many of you are going to be pulling for heart, unless you're a multiplayer enthusiast, but you already have heart options there. So, is that pipe worth pulling on? We'll get to that in a little bit, but here we have Gold Shy Guy, and as you can see, the carts are just terrible. I have bottom shelf. I think this Cact Ice is available in the all clear pipe, but other than that, the Dark Trickster is not available. And here you have a Streamliner cart. This thing was in a paid bundle in the Berlin tour, I believe. So not very accessible. I'm going to go in with the Red Bee Dasher, and here we have the gliders, and similarly exclusive. I know Isai has the toe bean balloons, and they've been coming in clutch. Basically, any one of these cart or gliders that you get in a 100 pipe that don't end up in the all clear pipe are just paywall savers left and right. So if you can get your hands on any of them, they will undoubtedly save you in many ranked modes in the future. I have middle shelf Cloud Glider, so not looking too good, but fortunately I'm not going to care too much. I'm not going to invest heavily into anything. I'm not opposed to investing at all, but it has to be like a normal or a super, something of that nature, something that I would be investing into anyway, and then generally only to move up maybe like one position in a very modest sense. So we have Mario Circuit 3, and as you can see, this is pretty free-to-play friendly. Most of you have Peach Vacation or Halloween Mario. I have Donkey Kong Jr., so that's great. Here we have this Bumblebee cart. It's been in the tier shop, so it's accessible. And then here we have a number of options. If you guys don't have a level 6 banana parafoil, that's definitely a move you'd want to make here. Is that a move I would make? Perhaps. Super gliders are, mine are in very good shape. And this is a move that I would perhaps want to do if there was a jungle tour for the all cup ranking. So if investing into this glider would get me a higher position, I would consider doing that for this week, but that's probably the extent of investments that I would make here. Otherwise, you have the piston glider, which is a normal, everybody has it at a high level. The Star Chute, a lot of you guys have it at a very high level also. And then you have a bunch of less free-to-play friendly options in the back there. And for the last track, we have Koopa Troopa Beach 2T, in which case we have the two recent driver rewards for ranked mode. We have Green Shy Guy and Blue Yoshi. I'm going to go in, I guess, with Blue Yoshi, and here I have the Blue Turbo Birdo cart and the Great Sale. I believe this Butterfly Sunset is in the tier shop for this week. So if you need an option either to level up or brand new, go ahead and use that. So all in all, what are my expectations for this week? I'm just, you know, I'm probably going to come somewhere between like 3rd and 10th, if I had to say. Now, week 2, we expect to see the Larry Cup once again with Larry. Inexplicable. We haven't seen a Diddy Kong Cup since last May, and we've had the same normal driver get a ranked cup back-to-back weeks. I don't know who makes the decisions at Nintendo. Clearly it's intern 4, don't you think? So we have Rosalina's Ice World T. I have a gold driver. This was in ranked mode back in the Rosalina Tour, of course, so you're going to probably have one of these options. Cat Peach is in the all clear pipe, so you should be good on this track. Here we have the Sports Coupe that's been available, and in terms of gliders, I don't have any. However, a lot of these are all clear pipe options. The Butterfly Wings, the Silver Star Chute, this Dry Bowser umbrella has been huge in ranked mode. What is going on with this? The value is enormous on this glider. So I'm going to have to go in with the Star Chute though. So a nice all gold setup there, but not going to be great for score. Now in terms of Sydney Sprint T, we have King Bob-omb Gold. So if we take a look at King Bob-omb's added track values, they weren't too good. He had RMX Choco Island 2, the normal version, and the reverse option. And the reverse option already had multiple coin boxers. So not too good on the King Bob-omb tracks that he had added to it. And he receives a city track. So while it is a ranked track, it's not going to come back again. So that is something that didn't pan out so well for him, and it was something I know a lot of you guys like StudFit had said that since this is a character that everyone and their mother would be pulling for, what's that going to do for the value of it moving forward? Because Nintendo does take into account the rarity of these items in terms of what they choose to buff moving forward. They're not going to give something that everyone has loads of tracks, generally speaking, because that would reduce the likelihood that somebody would need to pull in the future. So unfortunately, the value was so good for King Bob-omb Gold that it might actually hamper his value in terms of cracking into the top 10 of overall drivers in Tabor's rankings. If you guys haven't already, check out Tabor's data site. It's very good for keeping you abreast in what's the most valuable items to use, driver, kart, or glider. He does great work. So King Bob-omb Gold, and again, I have no kart, so I mean, this is why I don't like city tracks. Honestly, they're beautiful. The team does an amazing job with the art, with the music. The music is tremendous, but yeah, when you're thumbing through your bottom shelf, that's not too good. Now, in terms of what you guys could have on the top shelf, the Clankety Cart, or whatever this is called, yeah, Clankety Cart has been in a few pipes, so you guys might have that. Otherwise, a lot of that are paywalled options. So just the red B Dasher, and here we have the Tovine balloons again. Can you believe that? Wow. And the Ninja Scroll. So if you guys pulled for Ninja Shy Guy, you'll at least have that. And I have the Cloud Glider once again. So let us back it out. And here we have Cheap Lagoon RT. I was wondering when we would see Cheap Lagoon back. Unfortunately, it's the one version that Dixie Kong does not get, but you'll have Larry or Boomerang Bill here for your boombox potential. So I'll go in with Larry. Here, in terms of carts, very free-to-play friendly. I'll use the Parawing, but you can also have this the Cheap Charger at a very high level. Some of you have Cloud9 at a high level from the most recent tour. And we have this level 7 Daily Selects glider. All you guys should have it at level 5, 6, or 7. So yeah, that track looks fine, but the options otherwise don't look so good. I hope certainly that you guys in the viewing audience have it better than I do in these 2 weeks. So let us check out the shop next. So for the token shop, it's a cart week. Very nice. I was happy there was a Daily Selects glider in there, so that was perfect. And now I'm only 2 gliders away from maxing out that bottom right corner slot. As you can see, I already purchased the Peach Parasol. And now there's only 2 Bob-omb Parafoils left, and then I'll start getting tickets. However, I can't max out my swooper right away because if I still go through with the plan, if I use the 5 high-end glider tickets it would take to bring the swooper from level 6 to level 7, I wouldn't have 9 needed to take a new spotlight glider all the way to level 6. So that's on hold until I'm sure whether or not I'm going to make the all-cup ranking push or not. It probably won't happen next tour, so I may go ahead and max out the swooper at that point in time. And for the tier shop here, you see Toadette, the blue streamliner, and the butterfly sunset, which has been in the tier shop at least 3 or 4 times if I'm not mistaken. I have a high-end cart ticket. Normally I say always pass on these. It's terrible value, which it is terrible value if you're trying to get the most out of your coins, but in order for me to do the all-cup ranking push, I actually may end up purchasing that high-end cart ticket. So that is all there is to say about the shop. Now, in terms of this pipe, should you pull for Baby Mario Koala? It's adorable, right? And it comes with this really cool looking boat that has Jet Cruiser. Rocket Start Plus, not a terrible skill. It definitely gets a bad reputation. I would have it as probably like the 3rd or 4th best skill in the game, because no matter what, you can always count on Rocket Start providing that huge sum of bonus points right at the beginning of the race, whereas with something like Dash Panels or Slipstream Plus, not every track and setup is gonna provide you with a boost opportunity. So Rocket Start Plus is certainly nothing to sneeze at. And we see it starts off with 5 courses of value, very nice. Only 1 city track too, so not too bad. And then we have this Surf Master Banana Plus good skill, and also 5 tracks. However, one of them is an unranked city track, so yeah, that is a pretty big killer in terms of value on anything. So should you pull on this pipe? Only if you're going to invest into each ticket and bring them to level 7. Honestly, if you're free to play, you should probably pass on pulling on this pipe. You know that there's going to be 9 high-end pipes in the following tour. And most of you probably spent all your rubies in the Ninja Tour, whether it was on Ninja Shy Guy or on the Gold Pipe. So not many people will be pulling on this pipe. I am just going to do it with you guys right now for my free pipe pulls. So wish me luck, guys. Hopefully we get some gold. However, I've been very lucky with this. So I come into this expecting nothing. For all I know, it's going to be 2 normals. That's what, 74% of the pipe anyway. So let's go into it. What are we looking at? Green on the first one. Green pipes can still be good though. Here we have the green kitty cart. That's a very good normal cart. And for the second one, also green. What will it be? Larry. Hey, that gets him 1 step closer to level 5. Although I don't know if I'm going to level him up for ranked mode in week 2 because it's a glider cart week, a glider ticket week, and I'll be saving for when I do make that eventual push, whether it be for the all cup ranking or for ranked mode eventually. I'll have to play the field, see what the next tour has to offer, because as you can see, I found my guy DK over there. He'll be representing Team Donkey Kong. So hopefully you guys join Team Donkey Kong. You know it's going to be a really fun experience if you guys hang out in the Kart Life Discord. We'll have a lot of fun going through that tour. So check back next week. I will have a tour preview where we break down everything. If you liked my last tour preview for the Sydney tour, this one will be 100% better. I can guarantee it, because I'm going to be so excited to see what they tease in that tour, and if we can make any educated guesses based on what they show. What the track will be. Usually it's something more modest, like a remix track or reverse trick tracks. Anyway, if you guys like the video, please smash the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new, because we do comprehensive Mario Kart Tour content on this channel. I hope you guys enjoy. Have a nice day. Stay safe, y'all. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.